simply be yourself.
Exactly.
And can you maybe share with our listeners a little bit more around what that what that means to you in a really lived, real way?
We do not need to be influenced by someone. We do not need to be validated by someone. If I know myself, if I know what I can achieve, if I know how I can forget about life, how I can live my present, that
Mm,
is an achievement. You should talk to yourself, right? If you talk to yourself, you will get to know your inner self, which
mm.
people hesitate to do because what I feel is people are scared to talk to themselves.
And I, myself included, have spent a lot of my life seeking for validation from others. And so I'm curious, what you, if you have some thoughts around why so many people chase that validation from others.
Why people see this is a human tendency. Okay, so take an example. I need to look good, right? Whatever am I wearing, I need to say, oh, am I looking good, or is it suiting me, or yes or no? So rather than I being confident on myself saying yes, I am looking perfect, I go for a validation.
So, welcome back to the Healing You Method podcast.
This is a space for warm, grounded conversations about healing, relationships, embodiment, and transformation.
Yes, and today we're here with Masarrat Shah, and he is a motivational speaker and mentor whose message centers on being yourself, listening to your inner self, and living with appreciation and gratitude.
Masarrat,
Hi everyone.
welcome, welcome, welcome. We're so glad you're here.
Hi Gloria and hi Jel. I'm happy to be with you, and it's a pleasure to be on your podcast and share my stories with you guys. And yeah, in turn, listen from your stories.
Mm.
Oh, wonderful. To begin, we'd like to ask you, what feels most alive in your heart to share with our listeners right now? What just is coming up for you right now in this moment?
So, to be very honest, at this particular moment, I'm very happy. It's like the we have a positive energy which we are exchanging with each other, and that energy is something where I feel yes, something good is coming. It's like sometimes I feel that your angels are around you,
Mm.
right, and they motivate you. And when you connect to people, like connecting and seeing you guys both right now, we are having a connection, and I'm feeling that positive vibe coming from both of you towards me, and I'm sure you also are feeling the same vibe. So that is happening at right now in this present situation.
Ah,
Oh,
thank
I
you.
really love that. That really fits in with your core message that I'm tuning into really quite beautifully, which is, simply be yourself.
Exactly.
And can you maybe share with our listeners a little bit more around what that what that means to you in a really lived, real way?
Yeah, sure. So I always tell my readers and whosoever when I do a motivational talks
Hmm.
is that we do not need to be influenced by someone. We do not need to be validated by someone. If I know myself, if I know what I can achieve, if I know how I can forget about life, how I can live my present, that
Mm,
is an achievement. But what happens is that mostly people they don't know, right? So if I always even I write about it that you should talk to yourself, right? If you talk to yourself, you will get to know your inner self, which
mm,
people hesitate to do because what I feel is people are scared to talk to themselves. Uh, it may open something in their life or in their subconscious which may not be good, or which will maybe be sort of a hindrance to them, right? So but what tell everyone is you should be a critique of yourself, a
Mm,
very harsh critique of yourself, so that you know yourself what you are, you know where you are going, you know what you have to achieve, you know whether I have achieved something, yes or no. Um, Recently I was on a TED talk, and I was talking about how you can redefine your life,
mm,
how you can achieve the things which you actually dream about.
yeah.
So it's like we all have so many mountains on our heads. Like we have anxious, we are always anxious, we are always, what should I do, what should I not do, we are always stressed. Life has got so many obstacles, right? We are always in that thinking mode. Now that thinking mode goes into overthinking mode, right? We are always questioning things, right? We are always questioning things. Why this? Why this? Why this? Why this? So what I say is, yeah, we have our own mountains. We have to face the obstacles, but there are tools, right? The tools which can help us to overcome all these things. Now, those tools,
Mm,
what are those tools? I say that those tools are your hope, right? The hope is the biggest tool which can help you to overcome those obstacles. We have resilience. If you're resilient, awesome. You have to believe in yourself. That is what
mm.
I feel, Gloria and Joe, about being yourself.
Yeah, and so thank you for that. That's so interesting, and I would say, yeah, I also see how much people, and I myself included, have spent a lot of my life seeking for validation from others, and so I'm curious, what you if you have some thoughts around why so many people chase that validation from others.
So, Jill, why people see this is a human tendency, right? Because they feel that I need to. Okay, so take an example. I need to look good, right? Whatever am I wearing, I need to say, oh, am I looking good, or is it suiting me, or yes or no? So rather than I being confident on myself saying, yes, I am looking perfect, I go for a validation, right?
Mhm.
I go for a validation. Now, that person, maybe your parents, maybe your siblings, maybe your friend, maybe your partner, they may not want to say you're not looking good, because it will hurt you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe your makeup is not looking good, but they will say, ah, you're looking so good, oh, it's perfect, your eyeliner is so good, your shirt is good. Why? Because they don't want to hurt you,
Mhm.
right? And that is where you get that validation. Oh my God, oh yeah, I'm looking good. But what about yourself? Are you seeing yourself from your eye, from your perspective, that what suits you, what not suits you? Why are you caring about others? Why are
Mm,
you caring about why you should be validated? Today, in this present scenario, everything is virtual, right? Now, there are people who are not so confident to come in front of people or talk to people. They were shy, right? I myself was a shy guy, right? But now those shy people have got the door open from the social media, right? Now they put filters and they get the validation, but they're
Mm.
not showing their real self. They're showing their real identity through the filter. So that is dangerous. That is very dangerous, which is actually, you guys must be aware of how many suicides are happening with the youngs, how many people are actually getting influenced by that whole drama of getting validated.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
that is a dangerous step towards whatever we are doing, or what youngsters are doing. Even I was recently I was watching one of the influencers. I think she's from Thailand or Thailand. I think she was having like millions of followers, and she used to just come on the screen, show some makeup tips, right? Look good, and tell them to do that. But then one day she realized, I am faking everything. I'm just faking. It's not me. I'm getting some product from some company to sell it, and they're telling me just put on your face and show it. She left everything. She said, I'm not going to do it. And she was, I think, on a CNN or some channel where she was there was a program on this social media and influencers. That is the
Yeah.
reason I tell people, do not get influenced by people. See, for example, I'm a corporate guy, right? Apart from being an author, now I can be influenced by say Bill Gates or somebody else, Mark, right? Why should I be influenced by them? So that is their personality, that's their life. This is my personality, my life. Whatever
Right.
they achieved, I may not be able to achieve it. I may look at them, but at the end of the day, I have to see what qualities I do have, which
Right.
may
And
be
so,
better than that person.
right. Well, and so not so much about being better or worse than someone else, but what happens? What actually starts to change within somebody when they begin to actually trust themselves?
That's the problem. They don't. They
Yeah, I
don't
was
trust.
thinking with what you were describing there, Masarrat, is that people aren't learning about their own self-worth or, developing it. They're
Mm,
having
Correct.
external, and then, gosh, so many times it doesn't match up at all.
At all, it doesn't match. And they, at the end of the day, when they're off the screen, they're miserable. They
mm,
are miserable to hell. And that is where that depression kicks in. Now, because they have to maintain that sort of a likes on the social media, they again put a mask or they again put a filter and come there. But when they are back in their real life, they're miserable. They don't know what to do.
mhm,
Yeah.
mhm,
And that is actually affecting the life, the career, the relationships, the mental health. Everything is getting sort of mugged up with everything, all these things, because that person is not real.
Yeah.
Yeah, what I'm hearing is that they're really feeling the pressure from society, if you will,
That's
to
where that's
perform.
where we
And so
say
they
the
want to
peer
get those
pressure.
likes. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we say peer pressure. Take the kids in the school. They have a peer pressure, right? Recently, you will laugh. Both of you will laugh. There were kids in India. There's a place in Delhi, around Delhi. Then kids were playing, and they're just 5 year, 6 year old kids. And somewhere they had a fight. And you know what? One of the kid is telling that kid, "How dare you touch me? And how dare you are comparing yourself with me?" And he showed his underwear of Calvin Klein. He said, "I wear Calvin Klein. What do you wear?"
Oh my.
Gosh, yeah.
So
Yeah.
the influence which social media is putting on these kids is
Mm,
tremendous. They
Yeah.
have to show that I'm a wannabe, and I am wearing this, and it's just 5 year old kid who is doing this.
mm,
Can you imagine what is the impact on that other kid who is getting these sort of lesson from this other kid? And what I feel is, I don't know if you guys agree with me, the in present scenario, parents are somewhere responsible for this whole thing, because they are not putting the guardrails. Where should we put a guardrail for our kids? And I don't say that all the whole generation is like that, but there is like majority of, otherwise if there is not a majority of youngs and kids and going into sort of a trauma, the this would not have happened.
mm,
Mm. Yeah.
mm. So it sounds like there's the through the peer pressure and through the not having the guardrails on at all, there's a, I don't know, it's not a true freedom, but there's a freedom to continue to be more influenced by what's outside of you. And the children, people aren't being, they aren't being taught to get to know themselves. Rather, it's more important to fit in and to look good. And that's what I'm
Exactly.
hearing.
Exactly. They try to fit in that sort of virtual society, and they try to say, okay, I am the best than you, and I have more personality than you. And if God forbid, someone tells them that you are not good or you are looking shit, then the thing is gone out of them, and then they take a harsh steps, because
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
cannot take that negative comment from anyone.
Yeah.
Well, what
One,
would you? Oh, Well,
One, they are putting the filter, right? And after that filter
yeah,
also, they are not looking good, and
yeah.
they are getting the negative comments. So that is the where the train goes derails, the train, everything goes into toss.
Well, so what do you say? What do you say to somebody who has spent years trying to be who others expect them to be? What do you say to encourage them?
I always see, this is the thing which I try to tell people who are getting this into this sort of this is a sort of a, it's a suicidal mess, right? What
Yeah.
I tell them is that just for do a detox, right? I have written chapters on detox, so detox, digital detox. For single, if you're so much into this social media, if you're so much into this validation, just for a 1 hour or 2 hour, just get out of the phone, get out of that whole drama of social media. Think
Mm,
about yourself, think what I am doing, right? It may not be easy in a just a jiffy. It was not easy in a jiffy to start realizing what I'm doing. But if they can take steps, get out of that place, get out of that phone, just switch off that phone, go on a walk, go do some cycling, go on a mountains, right? Just detox yourself and do some thinking, that
mm,
why should I be a prey to others? Why should I be validated by others? Who the hell are they to tell me you're not looking good? I
yeah.
am good, right? Now take the example of dating, right? We have so many dating websites, and because of those also there is a suicidal rate which is high, because the person is not getting accepted by the others. They are not getting accepted by the other side. They are saying they are getting rejections, and that rejection is creating so much of chaos in that person's life. In the mental state of that person is going to toss, because he or she feels I'm not worth, because that person is not liking me. Maybe that person is not so good that I am, but still that person is rejecting me. Do you see
Mhm.
the toll going on to that person's head? So we are talking about kids, about the youngsters who are on dating sites, and these dating sites are mess. They are the
Mhm.
ground for suicides. Now again, the person who was not getting accepted in the real life by he or she was not getting any partner or any love or blah blah blah, but on dating sites it's free world, right? They can choose anyone, but it's not happening.
Yeah.
It's not happening. They are again getting the rejections, so it's taking the mental. Again, that's why I'm telling, stop thinking about what other person is thinking about you. That means you're not confident about your own self. When you're not confident about your own self, then what are you doing? You need
Mm,
help.
yeah.
Gloria is there, Jael is there, I'm there. We are there to help you. But you're not coming to us because you're scared. We will give you the real picture. And you're not ready to accept that real picture. You're not ready to accept that real self which you are.
Mhm.
Again, that is you're cheating, right? You're hiding somewhere behind the mask.
Well,
Yeah.
Masarrat, I'm curious because you've given us some great examples about young people today and the social media and then also the dating. But I'm really curious to hear a bit about yourself and what happened with your turning point. Because I understand that it was during COVID when you started
Yeah,
writing. And so I'm
correct.
wondering if you could tell us a little bit about what happened for you during that period. And how did that
So
come about and open you up?
uh, when COVID happened, I was working, right? I mean, we never stopped. I work for the IT corporate, right? I work for MNC, so we were always working, right? But the thing was, everything was shut. You're not going out. You are just sitting at one place in front of your laptop, and
Mhm.
everything is virtual. And I remember we used to do potluck that was also virtual. We were just showing you that I have made this food for you. That was crazy. And but then something stuck in my mind. There was a chaos in my mind. There was something running in my mind. What the hell is going on now? I was seeing on the news channels on what exactly is happening in the society. Once I saw there was a husband who was so furious with wife. He just shot by point blank. There were relationships which were breaking. The people were not ready to be with their parents or with their siblings or with their partner for the whole 24/7 window. Now, what happens then? I realize, oh my God, you know what? Morning and evening, they are with their loved ones. That is okay for them. But if they have to stay day in, day out with them, it's not possible. They get choked. They want to run away. So that was a trigger point for me to analyze what is the relationship. Why are people then staying together? What is the meaning of love? What is the meaning of being with your parents? What is the love of parents? What is the love of your siblings? Where is the love for your partner? You do everything for your partner, for your wife, and when you have to live that partner or with wife or with your husband for so long in one room, you get choked. You want to just get away. That was the trigger point when I started writing about the whole events happening in the society. And that was I remember my dad saying me, "Oh, you're writing so good. Why don't you write a book?" I said, "That's not possible. I cannot be an author." But yeah, I write. He said, "No, I'm serious." And unfortunately, Gloria, my dad passed away in the first wave of COVID.
Mm.
But he gave me that idea that you can write a book. So I wrote my first book. I had written a book before that, but had not published. But then I wrote this. This was my first book, in which I my perspective and thought during lockdown, and this has got all the chapters about the what I realized and what I had saw happening in the society, and I dedicated it to my dad. He was the push. So that is
Mm.
where I got this whole thing that I need to do something for society, and I need to give back to the society, and I need to tell the society what is good and what is not good, and also I need to tell the society if I can learn, if I can manage, you guys can also manage. So that was the trigger point, Gel.
Yeah. So it
Yeah.
sounds like it was kind of like a healing as well as an awakening. Uh,
Awakening, yes.
yeah, the
Yeah.
two.
But
Which
oh, there is one more thing. I don't know. I was sort of a very different type of a kid. I never had friends when I was growing up, but I had something. I used to talk to myself. I had something called a imaginary friend. What we used to kids have imaginary friend. I had that imaginary friend with whom I used to talk. So I sometimes think that I had this gift from my childhood
Mm.
to be with myself, to accept what is going on around the world, and not to get caught into that whole worldly drama. So that was
Mm.
somewhere that is somewhere which always was with me.
Mm,
Uh, uh, when I wrote about unleashing your radiant self, in unleashing your radiant self, I have given all my examples how I became what I am today. I had my ups and downs. I had my struggles in life. I had my tough times. Uh, but then how I cope up with my those tough times. If
Mhm.
I was able to realize myself, you know what? Because I never had a mentor, to be very honest with Gloria Angel. I had never a mentor. I was myself my mentor. I
Mm.
used to cry. I used to sometimes say, why the hell is this happening with me? But then I used to come up with the things. I never told my parents I'm sick because I used to feel that if I tell my parents I'm sick, they will get worried.
Mm.
mm,
So
So I'm
you can
wondering,
imagine.
yeah, I'm wondering as I'm listening to you and you share this piece around always having these inner conversations. I'm wondering in this experience of you've always been accompanied, you've always had an inner witness, if you will, where you could
Yeah,
have these really, as you said before, these harsh, really real conversations in yourself, and you
yeah,
could find your way to your own honesty, to your own truth,
correct,
which that right
correct,
there would be the seed of your own confidence in knowing.
absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That is, I'm not sure about you. Do you also feel the same way, or have you felt the same way like I have felt? There are people who do like that. Have you,
Yeah.
Gloria or Jill, have such feelings which I had
Well,
being
as far as on my inner journey, yes, I've always had this inner journey. I've had this inner voice, if you will. I've had more than one inner voice. And being able to actually, it's kind of like a constellation. I do constellation work. Being able to
correct?
slow down and be a witness to my own inner experiences in order to kind of allow them and really get to know them and recognize what they represent in my life.
I mean, have you guys ever tried to create that circle and you then decide who will enter that circle, yes or no?
Mm.
Right? You have that sort of a wall. You know yourself. You
Mm,
know whom to allow in that, whom for whom you want to open that gate, right? Because then you know what I want. I mean, I cannot let anyone to enter and take charge of me or take control of me or tell me what to do, what not to do. But if I know who is actually real person who has that understanding with me, I allow that person to enter. Be it
Mm.
your parents also. I mean, the circle is circle. I will not allow to have that person in that circle unless and until I want it. Because
mm,
if I see the vibe, if I see that yes, he or she understands what I'm saying, then
mhm.
allow that person. Because most of the time people don't understand you, they don't know what you're saying.
Well, I think, what you're saying is really interesting. Because as I'm thinking about it for myself and, that question that you were asking about having,
Mm,
do you have that voice inside yourself? I think there was a lot of times where I was not taught how to listen to that myself. And I
yeah.
didn't. And I learned very well how to listen to what others were saying to make sure I would be
Mm,
okay enough to fit in. And now with my journey over the last number of years, it's been getting reacquainted with that myself and learning to be clear about making that circle. And it being
correct.
okay to say that I've got that circle.
That's what you did, right? And
Yeah.
you found your way. That is where you did that sort of a thinking, what is right for me,
Mm,
right? If people will start realizing that what is right for me, that is the first step towards achieving what you want in life.
Mm,
Because unless and until you will not realize that what I want and what is good for myself, you will not achieve what you want. You cannot be pushed by others to do XYZ. Then what are
mm,
you? What is your personality? That then where is yourself? If people are guiding you to do, all right, you do this, you do that. You're not good at this. You're not good at that. Who are they to tell me what am I not good at?
mhm,
In my TED speak, you can see my TED talk on TEDx.com/Masarrat. You will listen to me. I'm telling there that people start telling, you know what, you're not ready for this. You know what, this is not the right time. You know
mm.
what, I think you should rethink about what you are going to do. Why are you listening to them? Why are you not first validating yourself with your own self that whatever I'm going to do, maybe a business, maybe going on a vacation, maybe trying to go on to have a partner, why don't you first validate with yourself? Why are you telling someone and that person is telling you, oh no, you know what, you're not good at this? Why are you telling me I'm not good at this? You don't know me. Because that person is saying that you're not good means that that person knows that you're not good, because that person, you have reflected that not goodness or not confidence to that person. The person is judging you, or the person is making a presumption about you, looking at your personality or looking at the way you behave. When
mm,
you know that person when you say something, that person, oh come on, he's useless, he cannot do the business, he does not know be of business, what will he do? But
So
that
what
person
kind of
is
things, like what you talked about tools earlier. So what kind of things do you do to help someone reconnect with their wiser, true voice inside?
uh, they should go this by this. They should read my Unleashing Your Radiant Self, and they will get to know about their own self. It's how, first of all, you need to know yourself.
Mm,
First of all, what I tell, I take a theater workshops also. They need to, there is a simple exercise, Gloria and Jel, they need to do. One is they need to put down on the paper with the pen, they need to write their negatives and their positives. They
mm,
need to realize what is their negative, what is their positive. And it is a very, very tough exercise because you start saying, oh, no, 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 this is not negative, right? You start saying, oh, no, no, let me put it in a positive. Say, for example, I'm not confident, and that you know that you're not confident, but you're telling yourself, no, no, I'm confident. You know what, I did that. You put it in the positive, but you're lying to yourself. Now, when I say you have to do this little exercise, put your negatives and positives. Why I say it's tough? Because you have to be a critique of yourself. When you are a critique of yourself, then only you will be able to do it. And when you put these 10 negatives or 10 positives, you have to realize what is that negative, and how, you have to start working on that negative one by one and turn that negative into a positive. So that means your 10 negatives has to one day become 9 negatives, and 10 positives have to become 11 positives. That is the first step for a person to realize where that person stands.
mm,
First step for the building of the confidence, the first step of making the person realize I am worth, when I can be a critic of myself.
Mm.
mm. That's a very fascinating approach. I know from my own experience, I find when we do that inner work that it's really important groundwork to
Correct.
actually recognize and acknowledge the truth of the experience that we've had. As you've said, acknowledging the peer pressure, acknowledging the whole society's movement to influence you and saying, well, no wonder this happened. And
Yeah.
in that, saying, no wonder this happened. It's like, well, now you get to step forward and we get to actually accompany you with who you really are and recognize your gifts. So
Correct.
it's
Now,
not so much about turning a negative into a positive, but
positive.
seeing what is that diamond in the rough that was there all the time. Yeah.
All right. So, me being a counselor, as
Mm,
a counselor, I always say that if anything is happening in our life, or if anything is there, which is sort of giving you some hints, there's a trigger point.
mm,
Every damn thing has a trigger point, right?
mm,
Why don't you trigger something which will change that negativity into positivity,
Mm.
right? Simple step. Why don't you think in a way that I'm not able to do this. Just remove that knot from there. Simple thing. People can do this, right? Remove that knot and say, I can do this. And then do thinking on how you can do it. I want to go on a vacation, but I don't have means to go on a vacation, right? Or can I do something to achieve that? And because I want to go, can I start thinking, planning something, right? When I say planning, people do a lot of contemplation. They contemplate a lot, right? But there's no action on that contemplation.
Mm.
When there is no action on that contemplation, what is the use? Why are you
Right.
contemplating? Why are you unnecessarily burdening your brains and your mind when you don't have to take an action? Why are you wasting your time? When I say people contemplate and they don't take action, bloody, they are wasting their time. Do something else. Go
Yeah.
play around something else, or do what you want to do, rather than wasting the energy and wasting the cells of your brain. If you
Mm.
want to contemplate, do take the action. Everything has to have an action. Take steps. If you are not able to take steps, then why are you doing it?
mm. So get
Yeah.
really
Right
honest with
now,
yourself. Yeah,
correct. Now
really.
there can be there. I am now. Everyone cannot do this. We know it. But then you can take help.
Mm.
Right? There is a help always. You can have a mentor who can support you. Right now, mentors are not there to hold your hand and walk you to the, or make you book your tickets and sit with you on the plane and take on a vacation. No, they're not mentors. They can only guide you. They can only make you understand, all right, what is going to, how you can do it, or tell me how you can do it. Rather than putting the question in that person's mind, have the right mentor.
Mm.
The mentor can be your friend. The mentor can be your mom. The mentor can be your colleague. The mentor can be your neighbor. But again, remember that circle. In that circle, you have to understand who that mentor will come into that circle, who will really understand your perspective. If
Yeah.
that person is able to understand your perspective, you're good.
Mm.
Mm.
Interesting. Yeah, so interesting. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you for this. That's very interesting. Yeah, it's I like the ways you're framing it in a different perspective and words. And I know that another part of your framework that I saw in looking at your website and whatnot, in helping a person to be you, is
Hmm.
showing appreciation and gratitude. And
Correct.
so, can you talk to us about how does that help to build that person recognizing and celebrating and listening to that wise person inside?
Uh, Gel small steps. Uh, is I'm going to work, right? I step into my car, right? And I say hello to my car. It's a non-living thing, right? It's a non-living thing. There's no life in the car, right? It's a non-living thing. But it communicates with you because you're using that particular tool. We'll say that as a tool daily to commute to the work, right? Why don't you say hello to that? Then when you get down from that car, say thank you, because that car took you from point one to point two, from your work home to your work, and that car didn't break. Do people realize that what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Mm.
That car didn't break in between the road. The
Yeah.
car took you directly to the work and parked and made you reach the work on time without any hiccup, right? So why don't you say thank you? Show the gratitude. That's a small step. And when you start doing such things, showing gratitude to the non-living things, you will immediately start feeling that goodness. Universe is looking at you. Universe is listening to you,
Mm.
right? We have a direct, our protons and electrons, neutrons are connected to the universe. What you say, your frequency is matching with the universe. When the universe is seeing the small step of gratitude you showed to that non-living thing, a car, you don't know how that day will go. You will not realize it. Then the other thing. Now, I left. My whole day is done. I'm leaving from my work. How many people, Jill or Gloria, are there in this world when they come out of the door of their office, they say, I did good today?
Mm.
How many people appreciate themselves? 0.111, point 0, some person will know that there is something called appreciation of your own self. But what people do? Oh, you know what? My manager was so angry with me today. Or you know what? My colleagues were not happy with me today. Or you know what? When I reached my home, my partner was angry on me. Oh, you know what? They always have that cribbing nature. Cry, crib, cry, crib, cry, crib. Rather than, why don't you appreciate yourself? You did a good job today. Be
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah.
Feel that happiness inside. And if you have not done the good job, or maybe you missed something, you missed some actions today, then say, okay, oh, you know what? I missed this activity, or I missed this task today. I need to do it, or I need to complete it. And you feel good about it.
Yeah.
Do people do it? No, the people don't do it. But
Yeah.
people are either, I have to say, for example, a weekend comes, I know it's a Friday night, I'll just rush from the work and go to the pub for my beer and be with the friends there and just do stupid talks on the beer, some which is not making any sense, wasting my time.
Mm.
Yeah.
I used to live in Ireland. I was in Ireland for like quite 5 years. I remember my colleagues, oh, you know what, it's a Friday night and let's go to pub and have guineas and all those things, and that was the main theme of Friday night, because Friday, Saturday, Sundays we take rest, we don't go anywhere. But I used to always say, you know what, it's Friday and I have to rush and I have to go to gym. Saturday, I used to take my car and I used to go countryside. I used to race with myself.
Mm.
I used to race with the time. So rather than wasting my time in pub, having beer and having stupid talks and useless discussions, I come home, I go to gym, I work out, and Saturday I make a plan. Okay, which side of the country I'm going to make race.
Mm.
Mm.
Well, it's interesting when you're talking about that gratitude and, starting your day with thanking your car and saying hello to your car and thanking it when it gets you to your place, and then also thanking yourself for the good work. It seems like that would be like a really, like you said, a small step that would
Exactly.
really help with transferring those negatives into, thinking
Positive.
about, okay, how can I think of it in a positive way?
Correct. There has to be always there has to be a plan.
Mm,
A person has to be a disciplined planner. People don't know how to manage their time. They have to be a good time manager. They have to manage their time. So if they're a good time manager, a small example of time management is, I don't know how many of Gloria or Gel have you seen. There, a person opens a mailbox. There are hundreds of mails which are unread.
mm.
They have not even looked at those mails. They don't maintain their mailbox. It's a simple task. You don't know how to maintain your mailbox. If you don't know how to maintain your mailbox, how will you maintain your life?
Mm,
Simple example,
yeah.
right? I mean, I have seen my colleagues. I see by mistake, I saw the mailbox and there are like 250, 300 mails. I said, how? What is this clutter? How do you
Mm,
manage mails? When the new mail comes, how you know that new mail has come?
yeah.
The discipline. The
Mm.
discipline is very important in the life. If a person does not have a discipline, the respect for time, that person will not be. You give them, you explain him this whole what we are talking. That person will not understand because that person does not have a sense of discipline, sense of respect. Forget about respect for others, for respect for his own self, for his work.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah. And
And
Gloria
so
always
I
uses, Gloria always says consistency. Consistency is
consistency.
so important.
Exactly.
Right, Gloria?
Uh, but there was I had a neighbor in my apartment in Dublin, Philonla. So she one day came to me. She was coming from work, and I was leaving for gym. And she came to me, and we never had spoken before that, uh, that particular event. And she's telling me, you know what? I always see you, and I am so impressed with you. I said, why? What happened? She said, you have a particular time, and you're so particular about your time. You go to gym and you come back, and I always observe this, and people do observe you,
Hmm.
whether they know you or they not. They don't know you, but they do observe you, and they take good points from you. And there was a one more colleague in my work. We used to sit in a cubicle, and they were not related to my project or something like that. They used to come and sit, and we used to say hi, hello, and we used to smile, but we never used to talk because they are not my from project. But we sit together in a cubicles around. One day, one of the colleague came to me and he said, "Hi, we say hi always, but I never have spoken to you. I need to say something to you." I said, "Any work or something like that?" No, 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 no. I have something for you. I said, "Yes, please go ahead." And he said, "You know, it was always in my mind that I want to speak to you. Whenever you come to work and you sit, a positivity comes in this cubicle.
Hmm.
We feel so good. Some energy comes to this cubicle, and we feel that, oh, when you're not there, we feel we miss you, we miss that positivity. It was so good to hear that that person is actually feeling that positive vibe from the person who he does not know,
Mm,
and you're working in the same company, you're sitting next to each other.
Hmm.
So when you have that vibe, you emit that positivity. How that comes? That comes by the discipline you have. That comes
mm,
with the respect you have for the others. That comes with the respect you have for your own self. If you don't
Definitely.
have these things, they will always keep looking for the validation and being on the Instagram or
Mm.
Facebook or Snapchat and looking for the validation from the others where they don't know where they are, who they are.
Yeah. Yeah. I really appreciate this reminder that you're giving us all here. And I've really appreciated the time we've gotten to spend with you as well. But the truth is that we don't need to chase validation to know ourselves. And also how you've
No,
highlighted that gratitude and really listening within can bring us back home to ourselves. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, it's very
So
important.
it is. So to everyone listening here today, I want you to just really notice what's staying with you now, today, and to really have some appreciation for what you do, to listen inwardly and to remember that being fully yourself is not something that you earn. It's something that you allow. And Masarrat, I would love for you to share with our listeners how can they reach out to you, more about your books, and
Yeah.
how they can reach out with any questions they have.
So your listeners, hi everyone. So they can connect with me on my website, masarratasha.com. They can connect with me on that website. My books are there. They can buy my books from my website, and also they can connect with me on my Instagram. That is Masarrat Muse, MASARRAT MUSC Muse. They can DM me if they need help. They need to talk to me. They can come on the Insta also. So my website and my Instagram, they can connect with me.
Great.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for that information. And next week, we're joined by Veronica Thompson for a deeply needed conversation about trauma, faith, forgiveness, and nervous system safety.
Yes, we'll explore what it means to heal trauma without spiritual bypassing, and why safety must come first, and how boundaries and accountability are not a failure of faith. Yeah.
It's a compassionate and clarifying conversation, and we hope that you'll join us.
So until then, take gentle care of yourself.
And
Thank
remember,
you.
yes, thank you. And remember, all healing is relational.
Yes.